Kim,
Yes,
so
Aviva.
good to see you after all these years.
Been too long.
Oh my God, I think it was 40 years ago that we worked together.
Work together.
And we're still here, which is a blessing.
It is a blessing.
So catch me up briefly, Kim. What are you up to these days?
So retired from social care, social worker, no more. Happy, happy, happy days. And now I sing, I gig, I deliver choirs for people with dementia. I deliver workplace choirs. So, for instance, Hampshire Police, I run their wellbeing choir. I run a couple of community choirs. I run a choir for, not so much a choir, I suppose, a singing workshop for people promoting mental well-being and tackling isolation. So that's for NHS or social subscribers. That's what I do
Mhm.
that for.
Mhm.
What else do I do? And I'm training to be a celebrant. So yeah,
Do to oversee weddings and
weddings and funerals.
funerals. Yeah.
So basically celebrating life and love.
Okay. So
Mm.
it's interesting because you're clearly still using the skills that you've had as a social worker, but
Mhm.
you're doing it differently now.
In such a way that, I mean, the singing is, I mean, it was mental health. I worked for a huge chunk of my social work career was in mental health. Um, and I remember the day that I had a singing session with a group of patients and the staff. And I brought my vocal coach in actually and said, can we, because it was something they were doing. And I said, oh, this sounds great. I want to put this on the mental health wards. And I was seeing like the most remarkable um interactions with people and just confidence growing. And if it's kind of long story short, we decided to take these singing experiences to all the different mental health units across Hampshire, and it was just a beautiful thing. And then after that, I was asked by a charity to run some singing workshops for a year, which I said yes. And then I noticed people with dementia started coming, and I was blown away by what I was seeing in front of me, just with the magic of singing. And people didn't have to go and buy an instrument. They didn't have to learn to play an instrument. They already had their instrument.
Yeah.
And it was about um, singing the right stuff, singing the right stuff to connect with dementia about things that meant something to them,
Yeah.
and reconnecting with their loved ones, reconnecting with the community. I take them out gigging. I'm not, this isn't just a singing workshop. Well done, off you go home now. No, no, no. We take this out. We celebrate it. Yeah.
It's like the universe works though in mysterious ways, doesn't it? But when you're putting something so positive out there, it seems like you're getting quite a lot back.
Oh, honestly, Aviva, it's even on a day that I think, oh, I just want to stay home and watch some trashy TV. I get there and I just come away with a big smile on my face.
Because it's
And
uplifting, because you are uplifting people, and it's
it's
always
just
coming
so,
from the heart.
yeah. So that's what I'm doing. And and it just kind of feels, if anything, although you see part of me, so I think to myself, oh, I wish I did this 20 years ago. But then I think, well, Kim, you wouldn't be where you are today, and you wouldn't have met the people you had then, and you wouldn't have got the experiences that you had. So I kind of get why I wouldn't land where I am today if I had started this so
Well,
many.
it seems like you've landed gloriously.
Thank you, Aviva. It feels like it. It
I'm
does
so
feel
happy
like
to
it.
hear
I've
it.
even got Barry singing.
Oh,
I know. Who
Sarah,
knew?
your husband. How nice.
Yeah, who knew?
So I wanted to ask you because I noticed that you put a picture up of yourself where you're
Mhm.
beautifully embracing your grays. And what was there something specific that sort of made you decide, let me just deal?
Yeah, it was a regrowth actually. I had a regrowth going on, and I thought actually I quite like this color of the regrowth. I've got multicolors at the back still,
Okay.
but it was the regrowth. I thought, do you know what? It's quite silver, and there's a few different kind of grays going on here. I think I quite like this. I just loved it.
And do you think that people who see you now treat you any differently? I mean, people who
Not at
know
all.
you. Yeah.
No, they all complement it actually. And what I think has really helped people with this whole grey thing, image, is that if you look on, dare I say it, social media and in all sorts of papers, young people are opting for grey hair.
Yes, they are.
It's a fashion statement now. I think it's almost like a rite of passage. And it's if I can reach a stage in my life where my hair goes grey, aren't I lucky actually to get there?
Yes.
And why would I want to hide it? Why would I want to hide this point in my life where your hair turns into it's a beautiful color.
It is
I
beautiful.
wear grey. I choose grey clothes. I choose that. And so all different shades of,
Yeah.
dare I say, 50 shades of grey. No.
Every
But
shade.
yeah, every shade of grey. But what a privilege and to be able to get to that point in my life when it's naturally done. And I think let's just show it off.
And so you should, and you're doing it really well.
I remember going down Winchester once and I saw a woman, this is a few years ago now, I think it was before I was even blonde. And I remember seeing a woman with short hair, and I literally stopped in my tracks. Her grey hair was just spectacular. Made me stop. I just thought, oh my God, that's what I want. And this was like years and years and years ago. But oh my God, it was beautiful.
And so you just kept
Beautiful.
it in your memory for
Yeah, kept.
lots
Well,
of
yeah, for years she's been there because it was just such a stunning color, like yours is. I
Thank you.
gotta say, yours is gorge.
That's very sweet of you. Thank you so
But
much.
it is.
So, I mean, you seem to have spent your life doing things that really mean something to you.
Yep.
So, in this phase now, do you think that you're doing anything differently with this new sort of outlook? Do you think it's freed you in any way? Do you feel
In a
like,
way, I think it has freed me. It's freed me from financially. It's freed like
and so
now.
do you think maybe that you're now, I mean, would you be, say, you're an advocate for this? Would you, I mean, what
Oh,
advice would
yeah,
you give to other friends or ladies that
yeah,
you know, or men even? What
yeah.
would you say to them? What would you say?
My husband's got the most beautiful hair. He's got silver white hair. I mean, it is gorgeous. The day I remember going to when I had it done, and I went to my friend in the boutique, and her face, she loved it,
Mm.
and she doesn't feel she's brave enough, and I don't know why. I don't know why she feels not brave enough. I need to ask her more questions on
It's
that.
interesting that, isn't it? Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. And I thought that's the time. It's choosing your time.
it is. But it's interesting because it's hair, which is,
Mm,
we're lucky when we have it. I mean, yes.
yeah,
But
absolutely.
it seems to be that we think about it a lot. It's
It's
an
our crowning
important,
glory. It's your crowning glory, isn't it? And it's something that it's the first thing people see in a way, isn't it? And so having had hairdressers feature so much in my life at various times in my life, including with my daughter, you just want to make sure that I remember, after I had my kids, Barry said to me, I think I must have just got sucked into that typical mother leggings and t-shirts and didn't really do anything, because everything I did was devoted to my kids, right? To the expense of how I looked and how I dressed. And he said to me one day, you need a makeover. And I didn't take it offensively. I went, I know, I do. So this is the hairdresser he sent me. It cost him nearly a week's wages to get my hair done at this place.
Mhm.
But it was the best thing ever because it's your crowning glory. It's something when it's right, you go, oh, it takes your breath away. And then the rest of you just feels amazing.
So you
So
feel like this phase is the right
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You know when it's right. People go grey quite early on in life, I think. I remember when I was at school, there was a lad at school and we were in senior school, but he was grey. He was going grey. And we could see because he had really dark hair, but lots of grey in the dark hair. So for someone of his age, it must have actually probably been quite difficult, I would imagine. At 16.
Yeah.
But there comes a stage in your life when you know it's ready. You think this is it, and you just go for it. Oh, and to the point, I don't want to wait anymore. I want it now. Yeah. So I think people will do that transition. Will make that decision when it's right for them.
Yep. It's true.
Mm. And then they'll wonder why didn't I do it before? But there will be reasons why they didn't do it before. And it could be an age thing. It could be there's that midlife crisis time, isn't it, where you try not to be aging when you clearly are aging and you're fighting back. And to
Yeah.
an extent, I'm still fighting back. But there's a thing I think about the grey hair when it's natural and it's a like I say, it's a beautiful colour.
It's a beautiful color and you look beautiful, Kim. And thank you
Thank
so
you, darling.
much for sharing. This is really, really nice to hear all about your grey.
Thank you, Aviva.